At 7:30, it was one of the central campaign promises of then candidate Donald Trump. Deal with immigration, secure the border while cracking down and deporting those who are in the country illegally. We've seen these pictures in various large cities across the country. These are from the Bronx in New York. Immigration and customs enforcement agents have been averaging about 1,000 arrests a day over the last week.
It's not a spectacle. This is our nation's law enforcement judicial process. The scales of justice are equally applied to everybody. We want transparency on this.
Also seen deportation flights, military planes taking migrants back to their country of origin. Now, while those arrests across the nation have gone up, we don't have an exact number on how many have been deported so far. What we do know is the number of people kicked out of the country actually did go up last year. In 2024, the Biden administration deported 271,000 people. That was the most since 2014, when the Obama administration deported 316,000. By comparison, 2019 was the high water mark for the first Trump term, when 267,000 were deported. Now, these immigration crackdowns do create some challenges for local law enforcement. Back in November, we told you about a rise in robberies in Hispanic neighborhoods.
This situation is very sad, and I can say to the Hispanic community not to be scared. We have rights. We're all human and have rights.
Yeah, but many stay quiet about being a victim. They don't come forward and they don't call for help. Some come from places where police just aren't trusted, and those victims who are undocumented fear they will be turned over to ICE. CMPD back in 2017 was very public in telling the Hispanic and Latino community that they were not involved in enforcing immigration laws.
Crime fighting, public safety, it's a collective thing. We have large populations in the Latino community, so we need to work with.
And it's not just Charlotte-Mecklenburg police worried about a loss of engagement. Earlier this month, the Pineville Police Department posted a release on Facebook. It says it encourages all residents, regardless of immigration status, to report crimes without fear. It goes on to say the law allows non-citizens to seek safety and justice without fear of deportation. So why did Pineville Police Chief Michael Hudgens post this? We asked him.
Well, we had an incident that happened at a business location where we got word through word of mouth and social media stuff that there had been a robbery that occurred. And so we tried to dig into it and figure out who the victim was. And it took some work by our staff to get to it, but we never could identify the victim. We talked to people that had third-hand information. And when we boiled down to it, the thing we got back from them was, hey, this victim doesn't want to report the crime to you guys because they don't trust the police. They're an undocumented immigrant. So, that made us concerned, because what happens, I've had experience in the previous department in the 90s where we ran into this problem where undocumented immigrants didn't trust the police where I worked at that agency. And what that does, it causes an issue of safety issue for everybody, because those crimes don't get reported.
Historically, have you had difficulty of getting them to report crime?
My experience since I've been here, no. I think this is the first incident. We react very quickly to problems. We're a problem-solving institution here at Pineville Police Department, so when an issue comes up, we address it.
What kind of reaction did you get from the immigrant community and then the community at large?
So I saw a couple of messages on our Facebook page that liked it. Mm-hmm. So I have a Chiefs Advisory Board, and I have folks from that community on my advisory board, and I know that they read it, and I had talked to them previous about it, and they were happy with the message.
Our chiefs, our police departments right now in a bit of a bind with all of this, not knowing how to react to some of these things?
I think we just keep operating based on our operating procedures that we have now, and we just keep moving forward.
How does it work right now? If you encounter someone, typically if they report a crime, you're probably not asking about status, right?
That's correct.
What about when it comes to an arrest? At that point, are you asking for status?
No, we make the arrest. The status is determined later on. That's up to the courts, and that's up to the Sheriff's Department, that's up to ICE. Not interested in determining status. Now, if we arrest somebody and they are here, their status, they're undocumented, and they get arrested and they get deported, that's how the system works. When I talk to folks that are from that community, they said that is the expectation.
Have you had trouble with the immigrant community overall, or has it been not an issue for you here locally?
I have not broken. We look at crime. Matter of fact, we had a meeting today. We look at crime every day. We focus on hotspots and prolific offenders. Of all the prolific offenders we've looked at, I don't think any person's immigration status has ever come up in our discussion. If they came on our radar, we would deal with them like we would deal with any other citizen. We would deal with them based on their behavior.
Chief of Police in Pineville. We're staying on top